French drug maker Sanofi kicks off its R&D day in just a couple of hours. Investors are awaiting details of the company's pipeline and the expected payoffs. Joining us on set for an exclusive interview, Paul Hudson, Sanofi CEO, in studio. And you really, you like it a lot better than those remote shots. So you probably can't go, once you've been to Paris. I don't know that.
Yeah, he was in Paris.
Yeah, normally I'm via Zoom, but it's such a pleasure to meet you all in person. Thanks. I look forward to seeing you in Davos as well in January.
We will be there. And it's an important day for you, given that the job that you undertook 4 years ago or so, it's just a tough business. I don't envy you. You're hit with, I got to spend enough money to develop new drugs, but I also want shareholders to want to own my stock, so I need to generate revenue and margin expansion and earnings. So it wasn't too long ago when some people would say the spending you're going to need to do for new drug candidates is more than they thought. So margins will not be expanded as much, and the stock was down 15% that day. Today, you need to say why you're doing it, right?
Well, look, there's nothing more important than innovative medicines, transformational medicines that make people's lives so much better. It's the only thing that can guarantee creating future value for patients, for the people in the company, and indeed for those that invest in us. So we double down on our science. Today, here in New York City, we'll get to show why we're so excited, why we have 12 potential blockbusters to launch. But you're right, we have to invest in them now. If we hesitate, we may miss that opportunity. So, no, we've gone all in. We're excited. We're going to share it. Hopefully people are as excited as we are.
But immediately, the experts, the analysts, and you need to take a shot at me doing that because we don't know if they know anything either, but they're immediately going to say, well, we don't, you're doing this. I don't know what the potential for this is. Or, you're spending a lot of money on this, but there's already competitors that are ahead of you in phase 3 on this. So they're going to question your narrative. Do you have a good one to tell them?
We do. Look, we're going to be the world's leading immunology company. We're very good at immunology. We have one of the world's most successful medicines, Dupixent, and we know how to do and develop immunology drugs and discovery. We'll share today why we believe we can go from that all the way through till the end of the decade and beyond. And of course, it's a binary game. You turn a card over, you find out whether you've been a success or not with the medicine. We believe the deck is stacked slightly in our favor because of our expertise in this area, and we believe that it's going to create tremendous shareholder value and, importantly, for patients.
Paul, one of the big knocks, though, is that Dupixent, which you mentioned, Altavio, Beyfortus, those were all big drug launches that were done in partnership with someone else. They'll say, how do you know? How do we know? How can we trust that you can do this on a solo basis?
So what you'll see today, or you won't, but people will see today, the number of medicines that were developed in-house, right? And that's our drug discovery effort. Our drug development effort, frankly, is second to none. You mentioned 3 incredible, a drug for hemophilia A, a drug for COPD now, Dupixent. These are big moments, and also an immunization for RSV. These are groundbreaking, first-in-class, best-in-class, fully developed by Sanofi. So we've taken them from the very beginnings. We can really develop great medicines. We need more of them, and we need more of them in-house as well as externally. So, no, the playbook is set. We know what we're doing. We're excited. Takes a bit of time. I've been at this 4 years, and to be honest, this is probably the day I've been looking forward to most. Not just meeting you guys, obviously, but running the R&D session and sharing with people just how amazing this will be.
So you have great
everybody.
Results that you can show people today.
We'll share some additional detail that people haven't seen yet today. You can do that at an event like this, capture the imagination. And these are long-term projects, but the early indications are really strong.
Can I ask a sort of almost a business model, philosophical question just about R&D, how much money you're spending on R&D relative to some of your competitors, and how successful you think that effort is versus what you're seeing, I think, increasingly among some of your rivals, which is lowering some of the R&D budget, but then going off and doing a lot more kind of acquisitions and partnerships?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a mix. I think, look, in the end, it's about science. If you have brilliant in-house science, do that. If you need more of it and you have to go externally, make sure it's brilliant. There's a blend, maybe 60-40 internal, maybe 70-30. For us, it's about getting much stronger at the discovery piece, at the very beginnings of the idea. We know we're great at drug development, but we need more top-class assets to go into that system. And today we'll share 12 of those, which is perhaps the biggest number in immunology in any company. No, it's an exciting time for us.
So it was when was it? A couple weeks ago, the 27th, when you read the literature, people say that you unexpectedly shocked people by abandoning 2025 margin targets. What were the previous targets?
So we'd set some margin targets for 25. We set them back in 19, in fact, when we had our first capital markets day.
And what were they?
It was 32%.
And now what? Did you then, on the 27th, say what the
We said we'll have a strong rebound in EPS growth in 25. But, the most important thing about it is that we'll spend additional hundreds of millions of dollars in drug development, because the shots we take now are the ones that will take us beyond the end of the decade and through Dupixent.
But it was 32%, did you say? And now, can you tell us today exactly what are you expecting now?
Well, what we've said, and we'll share it again today, is we'll have a solid rebound in EPS growth in 25 over 24. That's what we've said.
Right, but if it's not 32, what's it look like, more like?
We haven't shared that.
Do you know?
I have an idea.
You could share it with us.
No, thank you, but no. I think that, look, the real challenge is, and you said it up front, how do we spend more in R&D to make this most attractive future and do it in a way that's responsible, running a more productive and efficient organization, using AI front and back, both snackable and expert, and making sure we can go all the way through efficiently as possible, get this medicine.
But you do need to convince people. I mean, they're not going to just accept, on face value what you're saying.
No, look, we've hit 13 consecutive quarters of growth. We've beaten every number since 2019, right? We're a great story. People see that as we get through quarter 4 and beyond. So that's not really a problem for us. The challenge was always going to be, can we spend enough in R&D to create the most vibrant and exciting future and the biggest value? That's where the emphasis is.
Do you need some different shareholders as a result? Not everybody, but do you need a different class of shareholders who say, yeah, we're going to be with you for this journey? And we believe in that.
Look, we love all our shareholders equally, obviously, but those that are thinking long term about value creation, about the opportunity. If you're going to launch 12 medicines between now and the end of the decade, that's pretty first in class on its own. You need people to have a long term view. But we do have, to Joe's point, we do have, quarterly and annual commitments that we can't miss. We changed our guidance just to give an indication that while we'll get on with the year in hand so that people can have confidence, we wanted flexibility to double down on our science. And we'll convince people today, I hope, because we're in great shape, that we can actually get that done. It's exciting. Literally, I've waited 4 years for today. 4 years. I've never been more proud of the company, our R&D, and, it all moves from here.